360 lock, smart lock, not so smart.
So, George, what do you have to tell us about some smart lock story?
So yeah, Karen, this is interesting. So there's this company, 360 Lock, that has this smart lock. I'm sure a lot of people have smart locks. I had one at one point, but had to take it out for many reasons, different reasons. But this specific one um, appears to has a bit of I guess, a marketing gimmick attached to it, where they're saying that they use Ethereum blockchain technology to be specific, to ensure privacy, confidentiality, and encryption on their product. So essentially, what they're saying is that anytime the lock is unlocked, locked, or any type of interaction between the Bluetooth device and the lock is recorded in the blockchain ledger. Still not exactly sure why that's necessary, but this is what they're using, right, to market the lock. And so Pen Test Partners, who's a pen testing service, decided to take a look at it, and it runs under BLE, so Bluetooth Low Energy. So when apparently the pen tester who was working it, kind of a pro in BLE pen testing, you've seen stuff before, they were still kind of unsure as to where the blockchain gimmick comes in on protecting this lock. But they pretty much put themselves. So he put himself. You have to be close enough to the lock to kind of intercept a session that's occurring between an authenticated user and the lock. Um, and then by analyzing the traffic, he was able to see a couple of the actual packets going through, where it kind of showed the password or PIN in a form where they can pull it out and then resubmit it and unlock it themselves. So they can extract the password in clear text or the PIN, whatever number they're using to unlock the lock, hold on to it, and then reissue it whenever they want, which allows them to unlock it or lock it. And they can change the password as well.
Wow.
The article gets pretty in depth in exactly how he was able to look at the traffic, exactly which parameters he extracted to make this happen. It was apparently a piece of cake for the researcher. And while, yeah, you do need to be in close proximity, I don't think Bluetooth LE requires you to be right up against it, right? I mean, you could be fairly far away. I probably should have researched what the line of sight is, but yeah. So once they were able to, get through this, fancy blockchain-ish technology that they're claiming makes this. Oh, by the way, and the reason why Pentest Partners went after this lock is the reason why a lot of security researchers go after stuff is when they say it's hack-proof or unhackable, right? This is the one thing. Yeah. If you want people to bang on it, guess what? Say that, and you'll have enough people to prove you wrong in just about every scenario. So they went in there after the researcher proved them wrong, after they sniffed the traffic and did all this and performed this replay attack, decided to do some kind of physical, what did he call it? Physical brute forcing with a simple rubber mallet. He was literally able to just pop the lock right off of the mechanism. And again, the lock was created by some fancy alloy that they marketed, impenetrable and however else they explained it. But so in other words, this 360 lock, they have two versions. One that looks like a standard, kind of like a U-lock, like a padlock style, right? And then one that you can lock your bike up with some kind of a interesting looking mechanism. Both of them use the same tech. Both of them were breakable via a rubber mallet. So both, technology wise and physical brute forcing, pretty much makes this lock useless and a fairly easy crack.
So what's our lesson from all this? Is don't mind for the hype, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's quite a few smart locks that follow the same pattern.
For sure.
I mean, and one of the problems I had with my smart lock wasn't exactly the fact that it's hackable, because you could kind of, I guess you can't really protect yourself too much around it, but the way the lock mechanism closes, it doesn't use the same amount of strength that a person would when turning the actual lock itself. But in this particular case, the mechanism that would push the lock into I guess, the door casing wasn't strong enough to make it. So maybe it was an alignment issue. Don't believe the hype. Number one, Ethereum blockchain, blah blah blah.
Does that actually help? I mean, that's the thing. Like, you've got a record that someone opened your lock somewhere. I guess that's important, but that's a database. It doesn't need to be on the blockchain, right?
Right, and also a little scary, right? Like, why does the world need to know you're unlocking your door and when you're unlocking it, and when you make a change to your account? Like, I really don't want people who are making cryptocurrency transactions knowing that. Not, I mean, I don't know. So it's a little strange, but.
Well, you were saying
I never understood this connection of this technology to be used for a regular house lock or a bike lock. It just, I don't know. That was a leap that I just didn't get, honestly.
What I think is what you're doing you're taking a lock by itself, which may or may not have its own flaws, and you're adding an extra attack surface to it, right? You're making it easier in some respects to actually open the lock. Now you've got another way. So,
yep.
I mean, I'm a fan of locks and lock technology. Not maybe an expert, but at least a fan, and I can appreciate that people like the idea of making it convenient or remotely operating it. But I would much rather just have a simple mechanical lock that I trust than one that I'm not positive somebody else couldn't open.
Yeah. And if you're going to use it, probably don't lock something up that has extreme value, right? Like, you're willing to lose whatever it is you're locking up, but it's worth the $20 that you're spending on the lock, I guess. So however much this would cost.
But why do you have to open a bike lock remotely?
Or you don't carry your keys with you.
It's like, I don't get it.
I don't.
It's like a gimmick. It's a gimmick.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess it's like could be considered like that keyless entry concept, that the active keyless entry they have now, where you just put your hand in your door handle without grabbing your keys, and it unlocks. They have found ways to intercept that traffic, right, and replay that attack, and people drive away with their cars. So, I guess some people just want to be fully digital and not touch anything.
And they enjoy the convenience of it, I suppose.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah.